Hello there, everybody. My name is Tom Gropp. I am the multimedia producer for Grand Design RV, and this is our first ever Grand Design RV podcast. And joining me on this little venture is Sales Development Manager Jeff Muffoletto. Jeff, how's it going?
Tom, it's going good. How are you?
Doing well. Very excited about this new venture
I am
we're
too.
on here.
Yeah, this is going to be unique. It's going to be something different.
Yeah, first ever thing like this for Grand Design.
Yeah, for sure. And maybe for the industry. I don't know if anyone else is doing something like this. If they are, it's definitely not as good. And it definitely, I can say this without question, it definitely doesn't have the voice of Tom Gropp over the airwaves.
Oh, come on, man. Come on.
Listen to that, guys. Listen to that out there. Smooth as silk. It's like a hot knife through butter. It's incredible.
Oh, my. Boy, he's full of the accolades this morning. Too kind. I appreciate that.
Oh, no, it's amazing. It's amazing. Later on, Tom is going to be reading the first 5 chapters of Johnny Tremaine. It's going to be great.
Definitely put people to sleep, right?
Maybe,
yeah.
but...
Yeah, it's like reading an encyclopedia. If I start reading that, people put them sound asleep.
Start with A.
Okay,
yeah.
I appreciate that. Like they say, I have a face for radio, right?
They've said that to me all my life. And at least you have a voice for it. I'm not sure I do.
Oh, no.
But I'm glad to be here with you.
Yes.
I think it's going to be exciting.
I am very excited about this, too. I think the possibilities are endless, and I'd like to see where this goes. I think we want to first talk about what better way to come closer to the customers and bring Grand Design a little bit closer to them is through a format like a podcast.
Yeah, for sure. There's a lot of people out there that are fans of Grand Design. Most of them own a Grand Design. Some of them are looking to own a Grand Design. And every year we have our Grand National Rally, not to mention all the regional rallies out there. And one of the things that just really surprises me are some of the great questions we get. And typically at the rally, I'm fortunate enough to be involved with a lot of the factory tours. And for those tours, we have these big buses that we bus people over, and they make the mistake of giving me a microphone, just like you did. And so here we are.
Yeah.
But then people ask questions, and I can answer the questions, and a lot of times you get some really thought-provoking questions. A lot of times, none of them have anything to do with the actual RVs themselves.
Really?
Yeah, and you'll have just questions out there that they might have something to do with Grand Design. Most people want to know how the Amish work and live, for example. A lot of our employees here are Amish. They want to know how they can use power tools, seeing as how they don't have electricity at their homes. And there's a lot to dig into when it comes to that. Maybe on one of the future episodes, we can actually interview someone who would have more authority on that than I would. Maybe an actual, genuine Amish person. I don't know. That might happen. There's also questions. There's questions, of course, about Grand Design, how we started, questions about, of course, how we build things. Of course, they're on the way to a factory tour. They're going to ask the question. They're going to see it. But there's a lot of things to cover. And I think this is a very intimate way of addressing some of those things that you don't have to come all the way to Elkhart County, Indiana to find out.
Oh, absolutely. And I think our overall goal is to just, through this podcast, is to bring information, some funny stories time to time. We want to have fun too, but just bring Grand Design a little bit closer to them on a more kind of like personal level through your radio, your headphones, so to speak.
For sure.
So, yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. So a good segue, I think, since we are in the throes of the show season, Jeff, speaking from your experiences as sales and things like that, maybe let's talk about the show season and how maybe some tips or tricks or helpful little hints when people go to these shows or things to look for or just the process.
Yeah.
Maybe like a tutorial, just like what are some things that could benefit customers when they go to these?
Yeah, like you said, we're in the middle of it here. RV shows and show season, although there's RV shows throughout the year, the majority of those do occur in the first 3 to 4 months of the year. And so we just came off of the Tampa RV show, which seems to be one of the more popular ones, especially in the early part of the year. Its counterpart being in the fall, being Hershey, the Hershey RV show in Pennsylvania. But yeah, there's RV shows everywhere. And in fact, it's crazy. There are so many RV shows, and people don't really think about it because if you live in Boston, for example, you care about the Boston RV show and maybe a few of the outliers. But there are so many RV shows. We have about 25-ish people on our sales team. Mm-hmm. And in any given weekend, the first 3 months out of the year, every single one of them typically is going to be at an RV show. And very rarely do we get to send more than one person to a show. There's usually anywhere from 20 to 30 RV shows. and lot promotions across the United States and Canada. So it's very prolific.
Right.
When you go to the show, a lot of people, they go to a show and they come in with a few different perceptions. Number one, you think it's going to be like a car show. It's not like a car show. Mm-hmm. You go, it's more of a sales event than a quote-unquote show. Now, if you go and you might see the latest and greatest, if you go to Tampa, you're going to see some new floor plans, things like that. But if you go to a local RV show in a smaller market, say you live in Kansas City and you go to that one, you might see a new floor plan. But most of the time, a lot of times what you'll find is that there are a lot of really good purchasing opportunities. These dealers, they've got inventory that's quote-unquote leftover. It's still new. It could even be the latest and greatest, but they are looking to the spring and summer, and so they want to move as much as they can, liquidate it. And so you can really get some good deals. Now, the other side of that is that if you're wanting to shop in a way that you want to see multiple floor plans, a show might not be for you unless it's like a Tampa or a Hershey, because you might want to see something that might not be there. And here's the tip for that. I would say find the local dealer in your market, and you can go to granddesignrv.com and go to our shopping tools and find the dealer locator, put in your city and state, find that, and then see what they've got on their website, call them. And I would even say that around the time of their show, either immediately before, immediately after, go to their lot. And then you're going to get probably a better, wider, more diverse floor plan selection with a product than you would at a show. Because you go to a show, it's enclosed space usually. They can only bring in so much. And more often than not, in fact, I will say, every show that I've probably ever been to, someone's been disappointed that we didn't bring something.
Sure, because we can't take everything, obviously.
Yeah, but they've got it at their lot usually, and so that's a really good way to be introduced to the product if you're new to it.
Good. Okay, so they might be able to score a good deal, too.
Yeah, for sure.
Another question I had was how new customers who haven't owned an RV before, and they come to Grand Design, and they're looking around at a show, the overwhelming feelings that can be sometimes, I would imagine. Where do I start? Do I want a travel trailer? Do I want a fifth wheel? Maybe a couple tips on what they should go for or look into first.
Sure. I think most people, at least today, start their research on the internet. And that can be a really good thing. It can also be a pretty bad thing in some cases because there's a lot of information, and not always is that information regulated. Now, if you go to granddesignrv.com, for example, you can look at our products, you can look at floor plans and things like that and narrow it down. I mean, if you've got 4 kids, there's certain floor plans that just aren't going to work for you. So you can narrow that down. If it's more, we don't know if we have a travel trailer or a fifth wheel, that's going to come down to tow vehicle, and I don't know what I can tow. It's at this point when you start feeling a little bit overwhelmed that it's a really good idea to get in touch with your local dealer. And a lot of times people think, I don't want to go there until I'm ready to buy. Well, that's great. A lot of people, you can go in, and if you've bought 6 RVs before and you're going to be on your 7th one, you can go in same day and find the one you want or order it and be fine. If you're new to it, you want to establish a relationship with that dealer. And the salespeople are not the boogeyman. It's not this whole, and I hope I don't offend anyone, it's not the used car salesman, quote-unquote, stereotype. It's not that. It's a relationship, and RVs are very complex machines, and you want someone who can walk you through those steps.
Okay. So really, if you're saying that just start at the website level.
Yeah.
And just look at our website and look at sleeping capacity, how many people, like if there's fold-out beds or if there's extra bed sleeping areas that way or not, and just family size and look at it that way.
And I'll give you an inside tip. I'm not going to... Tom, this is just between you and me. Don't tell anyone.
Okay, I won't tell anybody.
But we recently started something here at Grand Design within the last, I guess it's been a little while, but really ramped it up. And we have a department here called Inside Sales now.
Yes, Inside Sales.
Inside Sales. And there are 4 people up in Inside Sales. And they do a lot of things here. If you ever come to Grand Design, you're here now. You're not telling anyone. But if anyone were to come to Grand Design, they would actually, if they do a factory tour, one of these 4 people would give them that tour.
Okay.
But they also have another function when they're not giving tours, and they actually answer the phone and answer any questions that consumers may have. So if a consumer wasn't quite ready to start that relationship with the dealer, or they didn't know what dealer to go with, or they didn't have a local dealer, or whatever it may be, they can actually call Grand Design and ask for the inside sales department.
Okay,
and
great.
The inside sales department, people that work right here at Grand Design, can guide them through that process.
Right, and they're very capable because we know them, obviously.
We do.
We work here. Yes.
We do.
And they do a great job at that.
Yeah.
In response to customers and helping guide people.
Yeah. And all a person would have to do is call 574-825-8000 and ask for inside sales. If that secret were to get out, I think it would cause a firestorm.
Out. So if you were going to tell me that phone number again,
yeah, it would be
574-825-8000. Okay, all right. I'll make sure I keep that under my hat.
Yeah, keep that secret. Don't put it in your phone.
Call the number, people. Call it. We'll answer your questions.
Now, I will put a caveat on that. If you ever did have to tell one or two people, that's not the number for customer service. They can't help with current service-related things, but they can help with...
We want people to make sure they're calling the correct department.
We do have a customer service number, too. I just don't actually have it memorized.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Good to know.
Yeah.
Any other tips for people, maybe?
Yeah, I would say when you go to a show, it's very easy to get overwhelmed, especially... Now, I'm a realist here. I realize that only maybe 70-80% of people are only going to look at Grand Design. You might have 20% of people that want to go look at other things too. You know who you are out there.
Right.
It's the 80-20 rule. It happens everywhere.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. Go and look. That's great. But realize that a lot of times, especially if you're in the market for an RV, it's very easy to get overwhelmed and confused.
Oh, sure.
It happens to me all the time.
Absolutely.
I can't remember if this is in that and this is in that. And if you look at 10 different RVs, they start to blend in your mind. And you think one has the other, one thing doesn't have it. And it gets confusing. I would say take pictures. And especially when you come to a Grand Design display, take pictures. And then seek out the local Grand Design representative there, because more likely than not, there will be one.
Exactly. Okay. Good sound advice from Jeff Muffoletto.
Yeah. That's the playbook right there.
Yeah. Jeff, you mentioned that there are people out there who have other brands, and you run into them sometimes and they're maybe not be happy with those brands.
Yeah, if you're looking for a new RV and you're going to an RV show and if you haven't had a Grand Design in the past and you're looking like, what's this brand all about? It's amazing to me. A lot of times at shows, dealerships, things like that, I talk to people, and it's incredible because, just for context sake, when I started in the RV industry back in 2012, there was just, even at the time, not a lot of brand awareness when it came to RVs.
Right.
In the automotive world, everyone knows what a Ford is. Everyone knows what a Chevy is. It's just common knowledge. You might not own one of those things, but you know what it is. In RVs, it just wasn't like that. You had a few brands out there, some more historic brands like Winnebago. Everyone knows what a Winnebago is, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
But as far as towables, travel trailers, and fifth wheels, there's just not a lot of brand awareness at the time. Fast forward to today, there's still not a lot of brand awareness, but it's incredible how many people will come to a show and they're not asking, hey, where are the fifth wheels? Where are the travel trailers? Where are the Grand Designs? They'll ask it by its name. And that's great. That gives me the warm and fuzzies.
Sure. Oh, yeah.
But there are people out there who are looking into Grand Design. And if you don't know why Grand Design is here, it might just fade. It might just be one of those other brands that you're considering. And I'll tell you, funny enough, I started in the RV industry down in Florida in 2012 at the exact same time that Grand Design started as a company. Started in late 2012, shipped the first unit in 2013, January.
Yeah.
And I was fortunate enough to see one of the very first Solitudes. Actually came down to a dealership I was working at. And Don Clark was there, who's still our current president, CEO.
Yep.
And he brought his brother, Ray. And I would imagine that a lot of people listening might have run into Ray, especially if you hang out in Florida.
Oh.
Yeah, Ray's awesome. And what's great, though, is the way they approached it. The founders of Grand Design, and there was multiple guys, but the last thing the world needed in 2012 was another RV company. I mean, it's the last thing. It was flooded because coming out of the 08-09, there have been some that have gone under. Everyone really decided to stay in business. We need to really cheapen things up. We need to make it look really pretty, make it cheap.
Right.
Grand Design came at it with a completely different philosophy. And the philosophy was this. We wanted to build an RV without compromise. We wanted to create customers for life. And we knew the way to do that was to create an RV company, an RV manufacturer that could remain small. Because you look out at the RV world today, there's a lot of big RV manufacturers, big conglomerates. And Grand Design stands out against that. And even though we're part of a larger structure in Winnebago, they let us do what we've always done. Yeah. And from the beginning, it's been that innovation. It's been that quality, very overused term, but it is. It's quality assurance and service after the sale. And really, it's our customer service that have propelled us. You know, we've had a customer service platform that has really grown with the company, and it's really our gold star. It's what people talk about. It's what people appreciate. Anybody who comes to the National Rally knows Grand Design's all about service. And so here we are. We just celebrated our 10th anniversary, and we're moving onward, and we've never compromised on that. Nope. And what's incredible is there have been other brands that have come along who have sought to emulate our success, emulate our business model and our strategy. It just can't be done. It can't be done. We've got it's like Coke. We've got the secret recipe. Yep. You can put sugar in water, but it ain't a Coke.
Exactly.
Yes.
As we say, customers for life.
Absolutely, customers for life.
Customers for life.
And what's fantastic is, again, we're setting the bar higher and higher in the industry. People are seeking to reach that bar. People are doing that. In all, it's making the industry better. Right. And so if you're out there, you're looking for a new RV and you're looking at Grand Design, what's Grand Design all about? That's just the platform. That's just the base of what we're all about. And I would invite anyone to come to an RV show or a dealership or even directly here to Grand Design to know more and see the intricacies of that.
Yeah, I second that wholeheartedly. Customers for life.
Yes, sir.
That's what we live by. Jeff, I think that wraps up our very first episode.
Man. It flew by. Time absolutely flies.
Time flies. We just wanted to get the first one out there and just talk about what we're about. And future episodes, we'd love to hear from you. Maybe some topics, interesting topics that you'd like to see us cover.
I will absolutely let you know. Yeah. You don't mean me.
No,
you mean them.
No. Yeah, sorry. We're going to worry more about the customers out there and see what they want to hear. We can share our own stories from time to time.
Yeah.
Yes. But yeah, we want to definitely hear from you. For now, I think that's going to do it for us here at Grand Design.
Yeah. Signing off
on the first official Grand Design RV podcast. Thank you very much for joining us, and stay tuned for future episodes.
GDRV for life.
That's right. Catch you on the flip side.